guys, this is Lord Chael speaking on behalf of our show sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. They allow you to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so you can officially call yourself a lord or a lady. Established Titles is not just about your ego. You also get to do some good. In addition to your new fancy title, Established Titles supports global charities like One Tree Planet and Trees for the Future to help with the afforestation effort. Your title pack gets you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land in a private estate in Scotland. Your certificate features a unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. And right now, Established Titles is holding 200 plots of land right next to mine. So come join me in the Bad Guy Inc. Kingdom. Getting this certificate even allows you to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. Put it on your credit card, put it on your plane tickets, or if you're so inclined, put it on your dating profile. Makes for a great last-minute gift, and there's even couples packs that come with adjoining plots of land. Established Titles is having a great limited-time sale. Go to establishedtitles.com/Chael to save 10% off today. Remember to use the promo code Chael, or just click on the link below. Suga Sean O'Malley, Suga Sean versus Petr Yan. Listen, guys, it's the truth that will set you free. I know that you've heard that. But you've also heard me tell you, you don't owe the media anything, including the truth. Don't answer questions, handle questions. When do these two come together? Well, at a time like tonight. A time like tonight with Suga Sean where you lost the fight, but you won the decision. It's not your fault and there's nothing that you can do. It's not for us to all try to weigh in, which is always what we do. We always want to weigh in, but we have 3 licensed officials who are putting their reputations and their careers that are important to those 3 officials. They're putting them on the line. 2 of them said he did win. And that's how this game is played. Therefore, he wins. Now, you still have to handle that the right way. And I have to give credit to Sean when they asked him, did you think you won the fight? And he went dead silent. He was dead silent for 2 seconds. And 2 seconds of dead time when there's a stick in your mouth and the camera's rolling around the world, it's an eternity. And then when he did answer, he said, I didn't know. And that's as honest as you can be. There's no point and there's no advantage of claiming victory when you didn't have it. There's no point in working up a storm to come against you and push the narrative when you have a press conference in an hour. There's no point in doing that. There is a massive point in enjoying your moment, not criticizing anybody, and getting the hell out of there as quickly as you can. And that's what he did. I've got to give him a lot of credit, right? I mean, Sean's a young guy. For him to understand that in that moment is not something that I believe that was strategic. I don't believe it's something that he planned for. I don't think he did know it. I think that was the real Sean, and he answered. And it turns out the real Sean's a straight guy. Sean O'Malley looked awesome in that fight. Petr Yan just might be the best fighter in the world. That is heavily debatable. It's debatable to the point you want to talk about the 3 judges. Go back one fight where Yan was the world champion. One of those judges said he was still the world champion. Right? I mean, it's close. There's an argument there. He might be the best in the world. O'Malley ended up being, now I'm going back to Wednesday of last week. I realize I'm going back 3 days, but he was a 4-1 underdog. He was supposed to get massacred. Oh, and by the way, this was supposed to be a stand-up fight. Now, the guy that goes out and gets the takedown gets credit for it. The guy that can get on top and stay on top and keep the opponent down gets credit for it. But we also do understand one thing, which is while 80% of fights go to the ground, 100% of them start standing up. So the guy that went out and got the takedown prior to getting the credit had something, by his own admittance, he didn't like. You do not go for a takedown to put the fight in a different realm if you like the way it's going on your feet. That's a concession. That concession was also accurate. Suga Sean wasn't just beating him. Suga Sean was kicking his ass. Suga Sean is he's got great kickboxing. And there's a big team Sean out there, right? Even Dana White's talking about this guy could go on to be, in a short period of time, the biggest star in the UFC. We understand that. You've got this big wave, but that wave is then met with an alternative wave saying, hey, he's not that good. He's a star, we admit it. He's interesting on the microphone, we admit it. He works hard, he plays the media, he does his own thing, we admit it. But his skills are limited. That's real. That's out there. Suga Sean just beat Yan. Hold that thought. I don't want to have the argument, because less of an argument is my next statement, which is Suga Sean outstruck Yan. That's true. That's not a debate. I mean, those are simple numbers, right? Bump, bump, bump. How many times you hit me back, right? Those are pretty simple numbers. I hurt you. How much did you hurt me? You're covered in blood. I'm covered in your blood. I mean, some of these things are beyond a debate. They just happen. We don't need somebody's opinion. Suga Sean also learned a couple of things, right? That triangle choke isn't always going to be there. No matter how long your legs are, you're going to need different setups. When you're going for a triangle choke and the guy stops it, don't continue to force the choke or freeze the position, Sean. Start landing elbows and mixing things up. Those are things that he learned tonight. Takedown defense, the importance to having good hips, to keeping a guy up. Those are things that he learned tonight. That's all right. Yan learned some things himself. But Suga Sean ultimately told the truth. And all telling the truth in that moment, all being a real guy, is all that does is it stops the conversation right there. The cover-up is worse than the crime. Don't cover it up. Here's what happened. Everybody will move on. Now, the press conference is going on as I speak to you. So I don't know that my prediction is right. Perhaps he's at the press conference, and perhaps Kevin Iole is asking him question after question about, do you really think that you won the fight? Perhaps. But I don't think that's what happened. I bet you that question came up somewhere. I bet you he's able to deflect. And whether it's tonight or it's Monday morning, he's going to be able to restart a conversation because he ended that one. And that new conversation is going to be about him getting the opportunity to fight for a championship after beating Yan in what we were told ahead of time was likely a number one contenders match. Aljo needs an opponent. Aljo's going to want that fight with Sean, right? Aljo's got everything he's got except his celebrity. He's to the top of the mountain. He's now got the offense if you want to default back to the Matt Hughes theory. He's got a pocket full of money. He's got a beautiful girl that walked in there with him. He's got a team right. He's got everything he wants except for the notoriety. That's what he wants. And he understands that Sean can help get that for him. So I think that Aljo is going to be a very willing participant. I think that all of us are going to realize it's really not all that fun to talk about who should have won. There's nothing you can do. It's done. It's over. And that we all need to move on. I think we're going to move on in the direction that we were promised, which is O'Malley with the victory fighting for a championship. I think that that's the story that's going to win out the day, even if we need to wait a few days to get there.